All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a certified banger on our hands. I mean, this card on October 21st, UFC 294 was already a banger, the way it was, with Charles Oliveira and Paulo Costa. Shout out to those guys. It sucks that those guys got hurt and had to pull out. Charles Oliveira with the eyebrow, Paulo Costa with the elbow. You know, those are two fantastic, super entertaining fighters, and hopefully they'll be back in the octagon very soon. But, bro, Dana White said, fuck it. If, you know, if this banger is going to get broken up, absolutely not. I'm saving the day. I'm going to give you guys Islam versus Volk 2. And why not sprinkle in a little Khamzat versus Kamaru Usman for the co-main? That's just, Dana White just gave us a gift from the heavens. This is one of those cards that if I'm sitting in my living room, no one else is available, none of my friends can watch this card, I will sit in my living room, pay full price for the card. I ain't streaming it. Pay full price for the card, crack open a beer, and just enjoy the living shit out of this card up and down the entire thing. I'll be betting the entire slip. This is going to be a banger. So that being said, let's get into it. I'm going to give you guys my quick predictions on these two fights. This is my early predictions. Of course, the lines are going to change leading up to the event. But, you know, this shit just got announced, so I figured I'll just put this video out, give you guys my initial reaction. So, Khamzat versus Kamaru Usman. Khamzat is, sorry if I mispronounce the names, guys. These names can be tough. Khamzat is the heavy favorite at -310. Kamaru Usman, not that often. It's not that often. You see Kamaru Usman, the dog, all right? And it's not even a belt fight. He's just a dog in a regular fight against Khamzat. And it's not even the main event. It's so crazy how fast things can change. I mean, one moment Kamaru Usman just looks untouchable. I mean, nobody wants to bet against the guy. He has the belt. He just looks like the top dog, top G. And next thing you know, you're on the co-main. You're not the main, you're the co-main, and you're the plus 230 dog. And with that being said, though, I mean, he's climbing up there in age. He's 36 years old. Everyone knows about the brutal, absolutely brutal knockout that he had the first time he fought Leon Edwards. And again, I'm not a fighter, guys. All right, I've never stepped foot inside of a UFC, of a MMA gym. I don't know Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I've never been knocked out. All right, I'm just a fan of the sport. I'm the fan of competition, and I'm a fan of gambling on sports. All right. With that being said, from what I've heard from the analysis of a lot of people who are in MMA, once you get knocked the fuck out, you're not quite the same. I mean, people can rebound and have great careers, but when you get your lights turned off like he did, especially at the tail end of your career, I mean, let's shoot straight here, guys. Let's call a spade a spade. Kamaru Usman's getting older. Like I said, I think he's 36 years old. In fighting years, that's pretty old. All right, not that many people fight in their 40s. Okay, and then on the flip side, you are fighting an absolute maniac in Khamzat. I would have to go with Khamzat. I would just bet straight up. I know it's -310. It's not a big payday, but you know, getting paid a little is better than taking a risk and not getting paid at all. Of course, when you throw two men in a cage, that's what makes this sport so fantastic, so entertaining. When you throw two men in a cage, anything can happen. As Kamaru Usman learned, it can take one kick to the head and you're going nappy noo-noos, all right? And then your whole career takes a turn. With that being said, though, we all understand the risk that anyone can get knocked the fuck out at any time. I got to rock with Khamzat. He had that tough fight with Gilbert Burns. I actually bet on Gilbert Burns that fight, and I was pretty butthurt that they gave the fight to I knew if it went to decision, if it was a close fight, they were not going to give it to Burns. I genuinely thought there was a argument to be made that Burns won that fight on the card. That's just me. Maybe I'm biased because I watched the entire fight with money on Gilbert Burns. But with that being said, guys, I don't think I see Khamzat losing this fight. But if he does lose this fight, that's going to make it very interesting for the future of Kamaru Usman. Like, what's the next step? Then, of course, you have to figure out the decision between, because we have that fight coming up with Leon Edwards and, what's his name? Colby Covington, who hasn't fought in freaking years. So that's going to be a banger, too, coming in December, I think they're fighting. So anyway, I'm kind of rambling here. With that being said, I'm taking Khamzat. Don't overthink it, guys. Kamaru Usman, he got knocked the fuck out not that long ago, and then he lost again to Leon Edwards, which, you know, there's no knock on losing to Leon Edwards. But tail end of his career, jaw ain't the same, fighting an absolute lunatic. Give me Khamzat. Moving on to the main event, Islam versus Volkanovski. I'm just going to be real brief with you guys about this one, all right? My heart wants Volk. My heart wants Volk. I'm a fan. I think everyone's a fan. There's nothing I'd want to see more than Volk take this fight on short notice and knock Islam out, or just win the fight in a convincing fashion, which obviously he would have to do it in convincing fashion because many people believe that he won that first matchup against Islam. There's definitely an argument to be made. There's no way anyone can say that there's not at least an argument to be made that Volkanovski didn't win that first matchup. With that being said, though, it kind of feels like a trap. This kind of feels like a little trap game or trap matchup. The way I look at this is we all are diehard fans of Volkanovski. We all, as humans, as Americans, as fight fans, we all love that underdog comeback story, that, just doing the impossible. Everyone counted you out. Everyone loves that story, which is why everyone's going to be betting on Volkanovski with their hearts. But the logical bet here to make is Islam. Volkanovski's fighting on short notice. He lost the first matchup. It was a close matchup. You could easily say he won. He lost, but I think that fight being so close is going to make and that frustration that a lot of people felt that Volk won that fight, it's going to make a lot of people bet on Volkanovski. And I just think the books know what they're doing. There's a reason why Volk is the underdog. I think Islam's going to go ahead and take this. Do I want Islam to take it? I don't have anything against Islam. I think everyone likes Islam. I don't know anyone who dislikes Islam. I mean, he's just a fantastic fighter. The guy's an absolute animal. But I just think this is one of those trap bets where it's kind of like if you're watching this, you may not be a college football fan, but a few weeks back, everyone was in love with Deion Sanders in Colorado, and there were people just making ridiculous bets when they were going up against Oregon. People were taking Colorado money line. People were teasering the spread to make Colorado the favorites, and everyone got their money stolen because the books know exactly what they're doing. The actual spread was 21.5 Oregon, and they ended up winning by like 45 points. It was an absolute blowout, but everyone wanted Deion Sanders to somehow pull out that game because we love that story. Can Volkanovski win this? Absolutely. I think this is a way closer call than the other fight. I'm very confident Khamzat is going to win that fight, which sounds crazy because Usman's an absolute killer, but we all know his knees are shot. He was talking on Joe Rogan that he has to walk down the stairs backwards. And he got just knocked the fuck out. I just think he had a fantastic career. One of the baddest men on earth, but I think he's just on the tail end of his career, and Khamzat's on the rise. So give me Khamzat, give me Islam. I want Volk. Those are my bets. What are your predictions? Put them in the comment section. Also, guys, this is a new channel, so if you aren't already following, which you definitely are already, hey, show your boy some love here. Click subscribe, and let's beat the books together.